guys. Give it a second. Let everybody fill in. Alright, we've got our Fanatic Mega Boxes. These are going to be a little bit different than the regular Mega Boxes. They got different parallels. It says Topps Foil Parallels. And those are the short prints. Helix, Let's Go, and Fanatical. I know Fanatical is the toughest pull out of any of the inserts that are in Topps Chrome. And then these also have the chase for the redemptions. The redemptions are for like signed memorabilia. There's a checklist on their website for what you can pull. But if I remember correctly, I think it's all active players, and it's like helmets and stuff like that. Signed mini helmets, full-sized helmets, jerseys, stuff like that. I don't think any of them are trading cards. Alright, good luck, guys. We've got Dan with NFC South and NFC North, Jason with AFC West, Bob, NFC East, JR with AFC North, Joel, AFC East, Pete, AFC South, and Sean, NFC West. Alright, let's see what we got here. We've got a silver Penix, Darren Bland, and that's going to be the parallel for this box. It's got the Topps logo in the back. Dylan Gabriel, base rookie. Kind of similar to what Panini did with those Prism White Knight parallels. Except those were extremely short print. Nico Silver, Sebastian Castro, Kenneth Grant, Ricky Williams, Elijah Aroro, Devarian Overshone, Rashid Shaheed, Kevin Winston. I'm sure there's autographs falling in these as well. Couldn't tell you how often they're falling, though. I'd imagine there's a few per case. But numbered cards have been falling pretty decently in retail when they've ripped it. Jaden Daniels, Power Players insert. Alvin Kamara, silver. There you go. We've got NFC West, Stafford. I would imagine that falls under a refractor. So there's a buyback right there for NFC West. Sean. Let's see if it says refractor on it. I don't see refractor, but that's definitely not base. I don't know what you'd call that other than refractor. Romeo Dobbs, Kelvin Banks Jr. Alec Pierce. Justin Jefferson, Jadad Barron, Dalton Schultz, Abdul Carter. Can't remember what the price was on the refractors. I want to say it was either 30 or 50 on the refractors. I'd have to look it up. Mahomes, power players. Calvin Ridley. Will Campbell, Tyleek Williams. Will Campbell is well known for bad reasons. That guy was a complete choke job in the playoffs. Tommy Tremble, Bucky Irving, Jameson Williams, silver, David Njoku, Devondre Sweat, Danny Stunsman, Jalen Coker, another Stafford for NFC West, Quentin Nelson, Jonathan Grenard, silver, Garrett Wilson, Princely. Couple buybacks for Sean. Dimmador Lenore, what a name. Walter Payton, Sebastian Castro, Mike Evans. Keep forgetting he's with the 49ers this year. That should be interesting. Xavier Watts. He's getting a little long in the tooth, but if he can stay healthy, he should have a pretty solid season with the 49ers. Got a... what does that even say? Rookie Relics, Jack Beck, Player Worn Memorabilia. AFC West. Will Howard on the foil. Seth Hennigan. I'm ready for football season. We're almost there. It's July. We're a couple weeks out from training camp. Really, I'm sure that Hall of Fame game is usually the very end of July. We're probably a few weeks out from the Hall of Fame game. Kicking off training camp. Devonta Smith. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Zach Ertz, silver. Reek Woolen. Jalen Phillips, Trey Harris. Travis Etienne. Pickens, Palomalu. Khalil Mullings, silver. Brian Thomas Jr. on the foil. Trevion Henderson. We'll have the fantasy league starting up here soon. And we'll be recruiting people for our, what do you call it? Our Guillotine League. It's on Yahoo. We did it last year for the first time. It was a lot of fun. But we only had like maybe 10 people last year, so we need more people. You can do up to 18. And if you haven't done the Guillotine Leagues, they're a lot of fun. Every week a team is eliminated. Lowest scoring team gets eliminated every week, and their players go to waivers. So it's... everybody kind of plays differently. Some people blow their waiver budget in the first couple weeks. Some people wait and just kind of gamble with their roster. Try not to be last that week. But I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Changes the draft too. You draft a little bit differently in that kind of scenario. You're not drafting guys that are going to be suspended for a couple weeks or injured, that kind of stuff. You're trying to take sure things from week one from the start. Alright, box 3. Bryce Young, Jim McMahon, Quinnen Williams, silver. Jeremy Ruckert, Eric McCoy, Isaiah Bond, See if we can't find one of those redemptions. Tristan Wirfs, Mason Smith, Brandon Ayuk. Thought we had another one. Tyler Higbee, silver. Walter Nolan, Benjamin Morrison. So I was just looking at Topps website. Looks like they're coming out with a product called Topps Flagship. And it has it as a 2026. It says 2026 Topps Flagship. And it showed pictures from like Chrome and Finest and all other types of things. So I think it's going to be like a high-end Chronicles type product where they mix together a bunch of high-end brands into a product. But I'm not sure if it'll be, which draft class it'll be. It says 2026, but Tedro McMillan with a September release date. I don't know. It could go either way. Quentin Nelson, Justin Herbert, Jahad Campbell. Tyreek Hill, Josh Allen, Colton Miller, and Woody Marks. Tyler Higbee. Jalen Wright, Tank Dell, Tyler Booker. Give us something numbered. Jaden Higgins, silver for the Texans. Jamar Chase on the foil. Rayshon Tootin. Tootin's going to be a fantasy stud this year as well. Brian Burns, Brandon Aubrey, Joe Mixon, Jelani Tava, Harold Fannin Jr. on the foil for the Browns, and Ty Felton. Nothing numbered. Kind of surprising. 3 boxes a toss-up to find something numbered, but figured we'd get lucky with at least one. I'd say when we're like ripping blasters and stuff, we'd pull something numbered. It'd probably average like every 4 to 5 boxes we'd pull something numbered. So nothing crazy. Jack Beck player worn, and then the Stafford buybacks are probably the best of it. Jack Beck for the Raiders, Sebastian Castro, Stafford base, Will Campbell, Abdul Carter, Stafford. We'll call it, that's a foil, but we'll call it a refractor. Elijah Aurora, Sebastian Castro, Dylan Gabriel, Harold Fannin Jr. foil, Jaden Higgins silver, Jamar Chase foil, Tootin, Tedro McMillan, Pulsar, Walter Nolan, Genty, Trevion, and Will Howard on the foil. So 2 best hits there. That's, I can look it up real quick how much that is on the buyback. Yeah, so that's going to be $60. Base is 20 and refractors are 40. And I would definitely call that a refractor. So that's $60 in buyback. Take it to your local hobby shop and they'll give you some credit for it. Alright, guys. No new releases this week, so we'll see what we're doing. I don't think there's any releases this week. Let me look at the calendar. This is the worst calendar I've ever seen. Let's see. Resurgence will be available Topps' website sometimes. There's no date on the release day. Let me see what the value box date is. July 31st for the Blasters. That's right. Yeah, because it comes out National Week. So, yeah, we're going to have a few weeks here with no new releases. I might try to get some more Topps Finest in. I think that was a good rip, in my opinion. Let me see what they're going for right now. I know they were going up in price there for a while. Hopefully it's leveled out. We can grab some Panini products to rip. We haven't ripped Panini since Topps took over. Kind of miss ripping Panini a little bit. Let's see. Finest. Okay. Yeah, Finest pricing's leveled out. Last sale on DealerNet at $640. It's a little higher than I'd want to be, but I'll see if I can't find some boxes for around $600, and if I can, I'll buy them. I'm not going to buy much higher than that. But other than that, we'll have to push some stuff together. We got a new Pokemon release this week, Pitch Black. I'll put some of those up to rip for a break. I have some sealed cases coming in, but I'll also have some singles as well that we can use to break. So I'll figure out the week. I'll look into it tonight, see what we can do. Maybe I can find some Cosmic and Finest, and we can do a little 2-box mix or something like that. Packages will be going out tomorrow. Got everything put up today. This stuff, if there's something you really want, let me know out of this break, and I can put it in your package, but I don't want to rip open all the packages. There wasn't too much hate here. Sean's probably the only person that would want it. But packages going out tomorrow. Quite a few cards. Everything from Topps Chrome Black, and there was some Topps Chrome Jumbo in there. So y'all should get that towards the end of the week. All right, I'll let y'all know what we're going to do this week. Appreciate it.